Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Hopefully you are doing well. It is another Tuesday, which means it is another Trade Talk episode here on the channel. So if you've been enjoying the videos, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And let's get straight into it. On the screen are the top 10 most traded in players as of Tuesday morning. I know this video is a little bit of a tight turnaround because we just need to get videos out there because there's games on Thursday, obviously. So the game only opened up last night as well. So lots of people have jumped on and made their trades. And the number one trade target so far is James Tunstall. I think this is more about there not being enough rookie options for us to go to this week. So people are just locking in, can I get, a 260 forward mid who played 60% of the time against Collingwood? Again, I don't think there's a whole lot to say other than let's just wait and see whether he's named, but he's definitely someone on the radar if he is named this week for the Brisbane Lions. Nick Dacos, fresh off of his 131 against Brisbane, back-to-back 130s, goes into Essendon Anzac Day on Friday. I think he's going to go absolutely crazy against Essendon. Then he'll probably cop a tag from Geelong and then goes into a pretty nice run up until his bye. Again, I think if you don't have him, you need to get onto Nick Dacos because he's the type of player that will take the season away from you. Matty Carroll, interesting. He's at 314. He's now played a couple games for Carlton. Again, pretty favourable ones against the Eagles and the Kangaroos. Don't mind him as an option, especially if you're going like a trainer down. Matty Carroll will make cash, but again, time to see whether he's selected this week. But I can't see a world where he won't because he's played in 2 wins. So I think he's definitely someone you could look at if you need someone in your defense to make some moves with. We'll hide them for a little bit. Maxi Gawn, someone in my side, as I spoke about yesterday in my very early thoughts video. Very, very happy owning Max. Goes into a couple really nice matchups, pretty much all the way up to his bye, sort of barring the Brisbane game there against Oscar McInerney. Very happy owning Max Gawn. And for those TDK Sherry owners, he could be an option for you, but it will be an upgrade at this point. Now, the first real big trade target this week, Christian Petrarca. Someone I'm very keen to look at, and if we go DFS and have a quick look at Melbourne, he was the tied second. Him and Jack Viney both in at 82% of the CBAs for Melbourne against Fremantle. Again, this was a model that worked really well. Clary's minutes were quite down and Cozzie's were quite high. This is a method that we might see Melbourne's midfield move into this realm, which means for Christian Petrarca going into Richmond and West Coast, could see him doing really, really well over the next couple of weeks. So definitely someone on my radar. Break even of 87. Again, you're not really playing the value for him, but someone of Christian Petrarca's quality at under 900k, I think we always need to consider that. Lockie Ash, I feel like he's someone who, if you didn't start him, you probably can't get on him right now, but he is playing fantastic and has a great matchup this week against the Bulldogs. But at 930, I think we've got other priorities in our defense to be dealing with than a Lockie Ash, but definitely having a breakout season, which is fantastic for him. Ned Long, a lot of people asked me about Ned Long last week. Again, 82% time on ground, 81 points, kicked a goal, very, very good game, 6 tackles. I'm still leaning against doing this at 600k. I just think we've got other priorities to deal with than bring in a mid-pricer who things could change pretty quickly with Houston back and Perryman's role and a few other moving parts at Collingwood. I'm just a bit skeptical about jumping on, but I can see why people are doing it. So again, I just think there's enough other things. I think the forward line between Horne-Francis, Petrarca, probably they're the two that are starting to stand out forward of the ball. I just don't think we're playing in this realm of 600k, guys. So that's just where I'm at. Let me know in the comments if you're going Ned Long, but not where I'm looking. Lockie Whitfield, again, I love Lockie Whitfield. Every year he does this. He's just an absolute elite player, and I never want to pay full price for him, but he's so good. Break even of 110. He'll just go and find a way to get close to that against the Bulldogs anyway. Him and Lockie Ash are just giving each other points. Again, if you're going a premium defender, I think he's the number one that I'd be chasing anyway. So definitely look at Lockie Whitfield. If you feel like Lockie Ash can keep doing the same, then you might be able to get a bit of value out of Lockie Ash compared to a Whitfield, but lots of marks in that really interesting game. But you can see he's got 9, 9, 9, 9, 10. So he's taking lots of marks, Lockie Ash. But again, there's going to be options there for them. Will White, I didn't watch any of this game, but 74% time on ground to go with 5 tackles is quite nice. 3 goals from the young man. How old is he? 21. I got no idea who this bloke is, I'm not going to lie. So it's nice to see that his scoring has been solid. He's taking marks. He didn't take marks this week, but he kicked 3 goals. So he must be playing forward of the ball. So maybe an option for us to downgrade in the forward line too. Cozzy Pickett, again, not someone I'd want to go after right away, but has gone 87, 99, 118. I didn't even realised how well Cozzy had gone, and he's gone 59, 42, and 68% CBAs. So if we go to 2024 Melbourne, I just want to see what was Cozzy's, he had a few games there. He had an 83 there. He had a 74 and a 63, but it looks like his midfield numbers maybe are a little bit higher. Again, they're sort of bleeding him into the team slowly. It's hard because you want to buy him with the run of Richmond and West Coast, but I just find it a bit of a risk. You can see, though, the marks are really good, 5, 6, and 5. The tackle numbers are good, 4, 1, and 3. He hasn't given away heaps of free kicks. He's kicked 7 goals as well. He kicked 3 points against Geelong. So if he'd kicked straight in that game, potentially that's 300s really in a row for Cozzy Pickett. Priced at 783 as a forward, 23 years old, 39 break even. There's a world where Cozzy Pickett could be a player, but I wouldn't want to buy into it not knowing that the midfield role's there. So he's number 10th, traded in at 1.3K. I love it. Just looking at the next two, Nick Martin and Bontempelli. Nick Martin definitely has the potential to be the number 1 scoring forward this year now that he's got DPP, gone back-to-back 120s. I spoke about him yesterday a little bit. 100% time on ground, brilliant with a good run. But again, he's extremely expensive at pretty much $1 million with a 95 break even. If you can stretch up to $1 million, I think he's probably a better buy than Christian Petrarca, but the value there of saving 100K can go a long way as well. So I wouldn't want to do that. And then quickly on Bont, one game smacked up against St Kilda. I think there'll be some managed minutes. You can see 71% time on ground. I think he's an early buy player, so I reckon he's someone we target going out of the buyers. So that's all the people that are being bought in. Traded out. Now, this is what I don't like to see, is I own a lot of the top 10 options on the trade out list. So Luke Traynor, Moraes, and Tom De Koning are the top 3. Luke Traynor, I fully understand. He's lost his value in being able to make money, but again, I don't know what Richmond are going to be doing with all this situation that's going on, but 7.9K getting off of Luke Traynor, and most of them would be trading into Tunstall. So changing their structure a little bit. Christian Moraes is definitely someone who can go break even at 52. Definitely not going to hit that this week. So if you can go Traynor down and Moraes up, I think that's the easy option. But I think money's a bit of an issue for people, and I don't think the 300K that you make off of Traynor is going to get you far from a Moraes, which is a little bit disappointing. I was hoping he'd make a bit more money. Tom De Koning, it's frustrating that he's not scoring well, but I think we're in a world where we need rookies off the field first before we think about changing rucks. So I'm not trading out De Koning this week because I need to sort out other things. Max Hall, I got rid of him last week. Thank God I kept Garcia, 43 versus an 84, so I finally got that decision right. SDK can definitely go. What did he score yesterday? He's back to playing fullback, 41. Get rid of him if you've got him. Finn O'Sullivan, get rid of him if you've got him. He's going backwards now. Scored a 22 with 83% time on ground. Zach Reed wouldn't be going near getting rid of Zach Reed. Again, frustrating performance against West Coast, but played 95% of time. He'll play. The ball will be down there against Collingwood and he'll bounce back. Will Ashcroft is somebody I own. Frustrating, obviously. Short turnaround, 5-day break. So I'm not looking at binning off of Will Ashcroft just yet. St Kilda, we just saw what the Bulldogs did to St Kilda. I expect him to bounce back quite nicely. Tom Power, again, same thing as Will Ashcroft. Hold him. Don't sell him. There's other priorities. Darcy, depending on the injury, and Sam Davidson may or may not feature in my trades when we go over to my team right now, because at this stage, my trades are Davidson and Garcia. You might be saying, why are you doing that? Because I can't afford Christian Petrarca if I get rid of Traynor. That extra, 80K goes a long way for me right now, which means I'm prepared to potentially lose on some value on a Moraes and a Traynor because I I see a world where Christian Petrarca is definitely a top 6 forward if he's playing pure midfield for Melbourne. If he's an 80% CBA midfielder for Melbourne, he's definitely averaging 100. There's no way he doesn't average 100 as an 80% CBA midfielder. So I'm prioritising getting the upgrade target that I want over anything else. It leaves me with 72K in the bank. So it leaves me just short on using trainer, which is frustrating because I'd rather keep Hugo Garcia. But when I start looking at my team and my only real rookie other than Bryson Reed, because I know Levi Ashcroft is a rookie, but I don't almost count him as a rookie. You're going to have Lindsay, Reed, Bice, and Ashcroft as my 4 rookies on field. It means my team's in a really strong position going into the buys. So I'm very, very happy with the structure of the side. Again, Tom Stewart is obviously someone I'm not super happy with, but he can turn it around as long as he can get a run of games together. Matty Roberts, Jaden Short, Nazar Wangan, Miller are fine. The midfield line is brilliant. I'm really happy with Dawson, Rosie, Brayshaw, Dacos, Clary, Ashcroft, Chera. Rucks, again, TDK, not fantastic, but it's good enough for now. I can make it do. And then the forward line, that forward line looks stacked. Baz, McRae, Rankin, Track, Daniel, Ashcroft, very happy. So the team is in a good spot. We've gone into 3-3, 3-0. We're moving up the ranks. They're my trade plans ahead of this week. I will let you know in the final sort of recap video this week of what I'm doing and what the questions I've been getting are from the community. But make sure you put your trade dilemmas in the comments below. I'm replying to all the comments, so I'll try and give you my best honest feedback on your trades as well. But please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're only 3 subs away from 600. We are flying up. We started at 550 last week, so we're absolutely moving up. So I really appreciate everybody supporting me, and I'll continue to support you guys. So I'll see you guys very, very soon for another video on the channel.